ESPN2 presents Laxattack. Highlights of the weekly Major Indoor Lacrosse League action. This week's MILL Laxattack show is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Bud Light, who reminds you that fresh beer tastes better. We're in the New York locker room, set for Laxattack for this week. Two big games. We've got New York against Buffalo. And I'll tell you what, this will be a big one. Playoffs at stake. I'm a little nervous.
Leaf, good luck tonight,
yeah,
man.
Thanks a lot, Kiss. Yeah, you too. You too, buddy. Yeah, Roy, good luck. Way to go, buddy. I'm a little uptight. It's going to be a big game tonight. We've got New York going against Buffalo. I'm strapping on the tape here. I'm feeling like this is really for a playoff spot. Then we also have Baltimore hosting Philly all tonight on Laxattack. We'll start at the Nassau Coliseum in New York, right on Long Island, where the Saints have a huge game against the Buffalo Bandits.
Huge game for us tonight, Leaf. We've got to find a way to win this game so we can get to 3-3 and give us a little bit of separation so we can get in the playoffs. And, you know, heck, the last two games we played in Buffalo and in Philly, and they were both tight games, and we got to protect our own home turf tonight. We got to come out. We got to be physical. We got to demand some respect from this team, and we're going to come out and play hard.
They're a much improved team, so you just can't depend on one guy scoring for them. They've got about 5 guys now put the ball in the net. They move the ball well, too. So, and they get good goaltending from Sal down there. So they're a much improved team. You can't take them lightly.
Man, Ross looks tired from his warm-up. Look at Vinny Pfeiffer getting his team ready to score goals. Everything matters tonight. All right, all the players a little bit tense. This is Morgan, the mascot for the New York Saints. You know, a lot of these tight games come down to the little bit of slightest differences. Morgan, what do you think about the game? All right, Morgan says he's not going to be dogging it tonight. A lot of intensity, a lot of tension here in the pregame. You see Buffalo coming in with 4 wins. They're on a 3-game win streak, and New York wants to get that 3rd win of the season. Getting set as we see the scoreboard all set to light up as New York takes over on the offensive end. They would really get a lot of motion early. Mark Millen comes in, going one-on-one with Steve Pinnell. Shot against Cowie, big save. Follow-up, Tyson Elias can't beat Cowie, and O'Keefe can't beat him either. Great goaltending by Cowie there. Now on the other end of the field, it's Darius Kilgore getting goal number 1. It is an early lead for the Buffalo Bandits. Wouldn't last long, though. Here come the Saints. They've got a power play situation. It's Vinny Sombrano working down low. Jason Walder, he's got broke. 1-1. Tied in the first quarter. Power play goal. And this team is off and running. Another chance for a power play goal as they set up against Buffalo. Way out front on the defense, there's Tavares playing all over the field. Tyson Elias comes inside. Now they've got some numbers. And Millen, he gets a goal to make it 2-0 New York. Mark Millen averaging 3 goals a game. What a year for him. Came from the Baltimore team last year. Buffalo down by 1. Darius Kilgore already has 1 goal. Looks into the middle. It's Tavares beating Colsey and putting it into the net behind Sal Locascio. Great backdoor cut by the great John Tavares. Again, Tavares backdoor, this time on Kisslinger, and he gets his 2nd straight goal. Now Buffalo leads 3-2, still in the first quarter in New York. This team is so confident. Another power play opportunity, though, still in the first quarter. Sombrano up top, gives it off to his left-handed shooter. Now down low again, Jason Walder. 2 for 2 on the power play for Walder. Tremendous job for him, tying the game at 3. Ryan Hall caught the slide right to left. Cowie saying, give me some protection. He does play well in the first quarter, though. Cowie on top of his game. Buffalo trying to get the offense going. Wait a minute. Sal, a little bit hot, hit the player down low. Casio is steaming because the player kind of ran into his crease area. Casio and Callan going at it. Callan gets rocked, and Locascio goes to the penalty box. Starting goalie gets a penalty. This is crucial. Let's take another look at how this thing's set up as Sal Locascio goes to the box. It started with a play coming right in his face. Look, he rocks Jason Luke. Jason Luke says, hey, what's going on? Luke comes up to contest, say, hey, Sal, what's going on there? Sal says, stay out of my turf, baby. Callan comes in to defend Luke, and this is where Locascio makes a mistake. He'll take off the helmet of Callan and go to the box. Critical time in the game, closing moments of the first quarter, tied at 3, but Sal Laxattack gets a 4-minute penalty, and now Dwight Mecke, second-string goalie, is in there. He's an excellent goalie, but he goes in cold, and he will get some instant pressure and be tested early. Dwight Mecke has championship experience from Philadelphia, played with Charlotte last year. What a great experienced goalie to have on your bench. The crowd will watch him as he comes in. 3-3 is the score. A lot of shots, 15 shots in that first quarter for New York. Let's take a look now as they put some pressure on Mecke. He makes a save on the shot from Darius Kilgore. Tremendous save for Mecke on close range. It's a power play situation. Down low, Dowling finishes it off. Power play goal for Teddy Dowling, giving Buffalo a 4-3 lead. Next face-off. Mark Millen as they work it around, trying to put pressure on Cowie. Cowie took 15 shots in that first quarter, made 12 saves. Great first quarter, but tremendous pressure by New York. Millen goes far side and gets his second goal of the game. It's a 4-4 contest. New York playing tough. They need to beat this championship team for these fans to believe. In New York, it's a 4-4 game. We're in the second quarter, and it's been the team from New York putting intense pressure on the offense. And Sal Laxattack back in the goal after spending time in the penalty box. New York will get right back on offense and show a familiar offensive tool. It's Vinny Sombrado triggering up top. That's Millen. Down low, it's Jason Walder. 3 goals, a hat trick. That's right, a hat trick, all from the same spot. Power play, right-handed finisher. A Canadian shooter is doing a great job. Fennell was arguing that his feet were behind the plane of the goal, but it stays. And 5-4 is the score in favor of New York. Continuing on the offense, watch it get around. Eric Saramet picks up the loose ball and beats Cowie. Tremendous job by Saramet. Got it inside of Richie Kilgore on the defensive end to beat Cowie. A 2-goal lead, 6-4. Still in the first half. Here comes Buffalo. They can score and are used coming from behind. Darius Kilgore gets inside of Pat McCabe and buries that one to make it a 1-goal game. 6-5. That's Kilgore's second goal of the game. So explosive Buffalo is as they go to the next faceoff. 1-goal lead means nothing against the defending North American Cup champion Buffalo Bandits. Push call there. All goes to the New York Saints. Sombrado now gets it down low. That's his Walter. Panetta. Tyson Elias takes a shot and he scores to make it a 7-5 game. Tyson Elias, 5-hole shot right between the legs of Cowie. Elias flying in from British Columbia. And he now makes it a 2-goal game. New York continues to put on the pressure. Going up top, bounces back. Look at that intense defense by Buffalo. It's Lowe who maintains control. Cowie goes wide. Elias backs it up, and Elias comes in to get his second in a row, and now a 3-goal lead for New York, 8-5. And Tyson Elias, you make it look so easy. Had to get 2 in a row.
All it was is the ball goes from my side and goes to the other side, and everybody's ball watching on their team. Eric took a shot it wide. It wasn't designed, but we'd always like to say it was a design play. Everybody just turns their backs and looks for a loose ball. I picked it up and stole it from Tavares, and Roscoe was down on his knees. Time he got up, I caught him going down again.
Tyson Elias has become such a critical factor in the new team from New York. Vinny Pfeiffer brings him in from Victoria, and he adds a lot to the offense. Now Buffalo putting pressure on Sal Laxattack. Ball's out front, watch out. They check it out to Vinny Sombrado. He's got a fast break going, looking for help. Coming up to the left to his brother Steve Sombrado. Vinny now triggers into Darren Lowe. Back to Steve Sombrado, and he finishes it left-handed. Vinny Sombrado's brother Steve gets his first goal of the game. 9-5, a 4-goal lead the assist to Darren Lowe. 3 straight New York goals. They've scored 5 of the last 6. Now he's starting to weaken. He went the whole first half, and he's starting to get tough now as that first half winds down. Great spin move by Darren Lowe, and that's how to win 9-5 with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Rules and Tools, brought to you by Old Spice.
Our rules and tools this week are going to talk about the fast break. I'm with Dwight Metke as New York warms up for this game against Buffalo. He's in the crease area. You've seen it a lot in games where the goalie will take the save, he looks upfield, and he throws a long pass, and a lot of fast breaks happen in the major indoor lacrosse league. But they don't start really here. They really start on the sideline. I'm a defensive player. The goalie makes a save. I run to the box over here for my teammates. See this white line that outlines the substitution box? As soon as I get to within a stick length of my box, I can release a player all the way up at the midfield line. He gets 10 yards advantage. So goalie makes a save. I run to the box immediately. My stick's out. When I get to this point, a fresh player, an offensive player, squirts out of the top of the box. That's how you see so many fast breaks in the major indoor lacrosse league. And the goalies are always looking up to try to get the advantage.
We're back in New York. 9-5 the score. New York with a lot of offense. That 4-goal lead as we wind up that first half of action from the Nassau Coliseum. Buffalo looking for the big stars to take over and get them back in this. They're down by 4. Tavares can't control that one. And this team is so dangerous, and they know how to come back. They beat this New York team just several weeks ago coming from behind. Tavares beats Sal Licasio after cutting through a pack of people. It was Huff that got cut on the defense. That makes it 9-6. Take a look at this. Look at Huff to your right. He gets picked off, and then Tavares is wide open. Posey can't get him, and Tavares finishes. He is so tough off the ball. Johnny Tavares, the league's leading scorer. Now Buffalo looking to get a little closer. They're down by 3. Down closes Darius Kilgore. He's got a hat trick already. 9-7. They're back to within 2. McCabe out of position. They're trying to help out. Can't get to Darius Kilgore. Saw the score. A 2-goal game now. 9-7. What was once a comfortable lead, now a 2-goal lead. Darius Kilgore getting a lot of attention from Steve Sombrato. Up top again, there he is, Johnny T takes a shot, he rips rope, he's got a score of 9-8, and that's Tavares' 4th goal. Again, Huff, the defender, got caught in a pick and lost contact with John Tavares. Tavares leading his team as Millen gets control of the faceoff. Gordon Purdy gets up to Vinny Sombrato. Now it's a 1-goal game. Still first half action. New York again lost a very close game in Buffalo after leading throughout just several weeks ago. Gordon Purdy, the Australian national team member, comes up front, and they can't finish that off. Huff can't get it. Here goes a fast break. Richie Kilgore checks right, checks left, looks for rope. He's got it. Beats Sal Licasio right over the shoulder. That was a textbook coast-to-coast fast break by Rich Kilgore. 9-9 the score. 4 straight Buffalo goals. Just seconds left in the first half. Sal Licasio turns back that push, and that's how the half will end. This game has been tied 5 times. Buffalo scored 4 straight to get back to an even game.
In the beginning, we started out okay. I thought, we came back in the situation here. It seems, with some penalties out there once again, and we just got to stay away from them, and I think we're a better team 5-on-5.
Well, 5-on-5, they did very well. It's tied at 9 in Nassau Coliseum.
Stay tuned for more Laxattacks.
All tied at the Nassau Coliseum. It's New York and Buffalo in a real dogfight, but we've got another great contest coming at you. This is the Baltimore Arena. David and Goliath, Baltimore Thunder against the first place Philadelphia Wings, and Quint Kesnick is there.
Quint Kesnick outside the Baltimore Arena. We've got a great game on tap for you. We've got the Philadelphia Wings against the Baltimore Thunder. And with me is the Leonardtown cheerleading squad. Ladies, what do you say?
We love Baltimore!
We can't take anything for granted. We're kind of on a roll after last week, and we just have to keep it going. We've had some success against Baltimore, and hopefully it'll continue this week.
a couple games ago, we put in a new system where we have a defensive line, and we have like 10 forwards who play forward and 5 defensive guys. Working the kinks out, we didn't have that system in place against Philadelphia the first time, and we started against Buffalo. It showed definitely signs that it would be working. Against Boston, it definitely helped us win, and I think we've worked out the kinks, and I think it's going to be a lot tighter game tonight.
We're a team that's going to be a good contender this year, and we're going for the title. So I think we shocked the world, and we're going to keep doing it for the rest of the season.
Barry and Les Bartley, obviously 2 nice guys, like them a lot, but in terms of dress code, just not there. I mean, a couple guys that aren't really at my level. Vinny Pfeiffer's clearly raised the bar, but I think, Q, you'd have to admit that I'm certainly stepping up my game. So, Vinny, see you in the playoffs when I unveil the all-new outfits.
All right, we're talking GT Corrigan, the best dressed and the league-leading Philadelphia Wings, taking all the Baltimore Thunder with renewed hope in a 1-game win streak. Hey, folks, it's not halftime yet. Let's get to first quarter action. Philadelphia in the gray and black against the bumblebee-looking Baltimore Thunder. The yellow and red with black trim. Here goes Finneran out front. Can't get it to stick. Stays with the underarm shot, and that low shot trickles between the legs of starting goalie Derek Collins. It's 1-0. Look at the fans from Philly. 4 busloads have come down to Baltimore. 1-0 early now as we pick up action down in the face of Dallas Elliott. That's why he's first-team All-Pro almost every year. He is so good and leads the league in save percentage right now. Baltimore very physical, starting to play the kind of ball that John Tucker wants. In front, this is Bobby Martino, not his normal number 3. He's wearing number 91. Forget the jersey. He looks like the Bobby Martino of old. He was carried out in a stretcher the last game, went to the hospital, had a CAT scan. He's okay. He's back, and he has scored the first goal for Baltimore, 1-1. Take a look at Horns now. Billy Miller playing defense, number 99. Pushes them into the crease. That'll be a penalty on the Wings. Billy Miller, hey, he leads the league. He's one of the top 4 in penalties. Billy Miller, a tough player, one of Hobart's all-time greats. Now it's a 5-on-4 for Baltimore. Look behind the goal. Look how they set a man behind. A different look on the power play. That is another goal by Bobby Martino. And now Baltimore leads 2-1. Good power play goal for this team. They don't use the doors. They just jump over the fence. Here they come down on the offensive end for Philly. Derek Collins looking very strong. Still early on. Martino again looking for rope. He's got it. 3 straight goals. It's Martino 3 and Finneran and the Philadelphia Wings 1. 2-goal lead for Baltimore. It's good to see Martino healthy. As I mentioned, he was taken out to the hospital last game. This is Gary Gate, number 22 for Philadelphia. Look at Klodson, number 7, marking him very closely, shadowing him everywhere. This is the kind of attention he got all through the first 11 minutes of this game. Gary Gate has not scored yet. This Baltimore team giving him special attention. Gabrielson trying to free up Gary Gate, who's one of the all-time scorers in this league, and of course, a focal point of the offense for Philadelphia. He hasn't scored yet. You've got to take him seriously every time he's on the field. Number 22, Gary Gate, being marked by Klodson, number 7. We'll leave the Baltimore arena right here. 3-1 the score. About 4 minutes left in quarter number 1, and Martino is taking over. Hey, if you love Laxattack, don't miss us every Saturday on ESPN2, 9:30 Eastern Time for the best of major indoor lacrosse. We're back to Baltimore, folks. Everybody's having fun, and the Thunder enjoys a nice lead of 3-1, the Macarena, at the break. Here comes Philadelphia. Not really upset now. They are so used to coming back in right away. Finneran comes down, scoring his second goal. Right now the score, Martino 3, Finneran 2. Kevin Finneran has done such a great job in his offensive end from Ohio Wesleyan. Better every year. Second leading scorer on this Wings team behind Gary Gate. Here they come again. Derek Collins is starting in the goal as Jacobs gives it off to Gary Gate. Gate pushes in, looks for a stuff, but great defense again by Todd Curry. Another Syracuse great. That was an air gate from the wing, but he was pushed behind the plane. Tough defense, keeping the ball out of the net. Again, Gary Gate. And Collins makes a huge save as the defense comes in from behind. Collins has looked sensational early on. He comes out to block that angle, and Philadelphia still can't fill it up. One more shot at it. Marichek going out front. Bates wheels and can't get it to stick off the foot of Derek Collins. About 4 saves in that series. Now a power play for Philadelphia. Marichek. Got such a great behind-the-back feed and shot. It's Bates up top. Where's Gary Gait? You got to watch for him. That's Marichek. Gait far side. There he is. He finishes. They rotated Gary Gait around to the back door left-hand shooter. And Bates up top. You've got to know where number 22 is. Now, this game is tied at 3. That was the first goal of the second quarter, and Gary Gait brings his game back to an even score. The Philadelphia fans are down here. They love it, and we do too. It's a great game in Baltimore. We'll be back with more Laxattack in just a minute.
This is my...
All right, Baltimore is rocking. Philadelphia fans are here, but Baltimore's starting to believe his team is tied now at 3 with the great Philadelphia Wings, the first-place team in major indoor lacrosse. Picking up action in the second quarter. Collins gets rocked by Chris Flynn. Fulks comes down, and Tillman to defend Derek Collins. Collins came in last game against Boston when J.J. Pearl got dehydrated in the game the night before. Collins got his team an 11-10 victory in Boston, and he has started this game and looks sharp. So it'll be a power play for Baltimore. They start from behind. It's a different kind of look. Baltimore still continuing to put pressure on Ellick, and they put that one in the corner. That's Jason Wade from Carolina. Watch out, folks. Kruger's here. He's in uniform. And now a 4-3 lead by Ryan Wade. Ryan Wade puts him up as the fans watch this team continue to control. Derek Collins still stuffing everybody on the defensive end. Bobby Martino, hat trick already, gets it up front, and they can't finish this. Klodson goes near side. Elliott with a huge save. This will be Harms. Harms gets a goal. Look at Elliott. Elliott saying he's in the crease. He's in my turf. Can't count. Corrigan and Resch a little bit concerned. Tucker loves it. He likes the way his team is playing. Halftime score, 5-3 from the Baltimore Arena. A 2-goal lead for the last place Thunder. We're back at the Nassau Coliseum. Remember the score, 9-9. New York outshooting Buffalo 42-28 in the first half, and a lot of goals. 9-9.5. I'm with Jason Walter. Jason, for a while, you guys were on a tear. You had a comfortable lead. And a lot of it was because of your efficiency on the power play. You're getting open down on the low right-hander shooter side and really finishing the shot.
Yeah, I think they're keying in on Tyson because he's got a really excellent shot from the shooter position up there. Just dishing it down to me. I have all day, and one-on-one with the goal, I should be putting him in down there.
If you win this game, it's a very big game for you. All right? You're bumping off the champion. So don't sit back, support Dwight in the cage, and make sure you're not ball watching. Be active off the ball.
And they were certainly active in the first half. They put 15 shots on Cowie in the first quarter. We pick up the action. Game tied at 9. And Buffalo looking to control again. They've got so much firepower. This is the league's leading offense, the Buffalo Bandits. They average about 16 plus, almost 17 goals per game. Richie Kilgore going back door to Johnny Tavares. Tavares gets his 5th goal, number 5, and we are only minutes into the third quarter. Dwight Metke in the nets for New York, takes over for Salacasio, and he was the one that got burned by Tavares. Here comes Teddy Dowling. Dowling against Metke. Metke makes the big save. He's settling down nicely. Now, on the other end, Cowie's still in the game, and he is talking to the ref, saying, keep him out of my crease. Vinny Pfeiffer looks very controlled. His team does too, on offense, putting a lot of pressure on, controlling the ball for more minutes than Buffalo, although Buffalo has that great transition game that scares everybody in the league. Ball pushed down, Tyson Elias picks it up. What a play. He checked the stick of Travis Kilgore and picked the ball up and then beat Cowie. What a great move. Defensive check and then picking up the ball in one big motion. Fans love it. Game tied for the 6th time as the ball ends up down on the offensive end again for New York. And to 10 the score. Back to Millen. Millen picks up that one right underneath of Tommy Fair, and he beats Cowie. Now it's an 11-10 game, 2 straight for New York. Mark Millen averaging 3 goals a game. He's in the top 4 in this league for scoring goals. One of this country's best shooters. Now Buffalo loading up 5-1-4. They've got a power play. We're still in the 3rd quarter. Accordingly down low, and that's an easy redirect for Dowling. Teddy Dowling gets his 2nd goal. It's tied at 11. That's the 7th tie of this game as we look at Dwight Metke in for Salacasio, who did not feel well, a little bit sick after the first half ended. He suggested that Metke start, and Metke is looking good. Callum losing his helmet. It's the 2nd time we've seen the helmet be ejected. Let's check the chin strap on that thing. Actually, this was a real hard hit. Callum, tough kid. New acquisition for Buffalo. Watch this. Watch Callum, number 77. Comes in for the ball. Watch the high check. Oh, Panetta goes up high and just rockets the helmet. Callum, so tough, staying in the game. Here's the power play again. Maybe the most feared. In the middle, Cordingley, and he's got an easy goal. Cordingley puts that one home to make it. Now a 12-11 game. Another power play goal for these Buffalo Bandits. They're not done yet, though. Look at the fast break coming down. Oh, Brian Hall steps back for Darius Kilgore. Kilgore gets the feed, and he finishes it off. His 4th goal of the game, a 2-goal lead. Dowling stealing the pass, giving it to Darius Kilgore, 13-11 as we leave New York for a moment. We'll be back. Stay with us on Laxattack. Rejoin. Look at that's the Bud Light shirts being thrown up, and these fans want one. They want a free souvenir from Bud Light. Come on. We resume action. It's a 13-11 game at the New York Coliseum. It's the New York Saints coming from behind now because Buffalo has that 2-goal lead. Back door. Eric Saramet, his 2nd goal of the game. That was a shorthanded goal, making it 13-12. Left alone on the back door. Saramet, a great finisher. This game has been a little bit streaky as New York continues now with an offensive push. Colsey comes in. He's got rope right in the corner, beating Cowie, who looks maybe a little slower than the first half. Colsey's 1st goal of the game. The Syracuse All-American makes it a 13-13 game. That's the 8th tie of this contest.
Come on, boys. We need to win. We need to win. Let's go. Let's get it going.
So Buffalo with Cordingley pushing them. That's Jason Luke saying one more. They can't get any breathing room against New York. New York comes back, makes it close every time. And here they go again. This game is tied at 13. Backdoor shot. It's Darius Kilgore. What a career game for him. He's working on it. 5 goals for Darius Kilgore. Buffalo Bandits up again, 14-13. So explosive. They're asking the New York Saints to score more than they average in order to win this one. Denny Sombrado looking in front for help. Tough defensive marking. Now backdoor, backside. Watch the backside, everybody. There's Tyson Elias coming in. He takes a shot and beats Ciccone on the backside of the offense. They got the pass to go through a lot of defensive players. Elias gets his 4th goal, tied at 14. Crowd can't believe it, but this game is tied 9 times now. Fans love it. Not shown was a goal by Darius Kilgore, his 6th, to make it 15-14 at this point. Buffalo up again. It was Darius Kilgore with his 6th goal. It's amazing. But New York gets one from Panetta. Matt Panetta, All-American from Johns Hopkins. That was his favorite spot. Ties the game at 15. 10th tie. And again, New York, from up top, they find Robin's Eric Saramet. He's got a hat trick and a 1-goal lead as this game gets toward the end. 16-15 with about 5 minutes to go. Gordon Purdy looking inside to Saramet against Cowie, but he makes a big save. That would have been great assurance, the insurance goal, but no. Still a 1-goal lead as the fans love the effort put out by both teams. Dowling, 1-on-1. He beats Dwight Metke to tie it yet another time, the 11th tie of the game at 16-16. I'm winding down. Metke with a huge save. Ball's loose. Watch out. It's loose. Saramet picks it up. He's on a race with Callan. he'll beat Callan and only Travis Kilgore. He beats both players and also Cowie to put his team ahead 17-16. Eric Sermet, 4 goals on the day, puts his team ahead late in the fourth quarter, 17-16. Millen would add 1 more. That's how it would end. Sermet with the play of the game. 18-16 would be the final, and Eric Sermet had a huge game. He ends up with 4 goals, including the game winner. He gets 1 assist to become the Bud Light MVP. Had 12 shots overall, 5 were on goal, 4 found the net. Eric Sermet.
I'm with Eric Sermet, our Bud Light MVP for a very exciting game. 18-16 the final. And Eric, let me start with a play that was late in the fourth quarter. Game was tied. Really, you set up the win with a sensational play that started on the defensive end of the field. The ball was loose. They had a chance to go ahead. You come out of the pack, get the loose ball, take it from there.
I'll tell you, I don't know. I just saw the ball on the ground. I was on the weak side, so, I felt like I can come over and help out, look for the double team. Ended up the ball was on the ground. I was just able to pick it up. I just put it in high gear and, ran as fast as I could and, finished it.
It's graduation day for us. Generally, hard work pays off, but it's been a long time coming.
This is a huge win for us. Guys stepped it up. Dwight played outstanding in the second half, and it was the biggest win that I've been associated with this team in a long time.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. Look at the quarter scoring. They match up 3-3 in the first, 6-6 in the second, 4-4 in the third, and New York, with great fitness, wins 5-3 in the fourth. That's how they'll end up. Walter, 3 goals, Kilgore, 6. The first win over Buffalo since '92. Hey, how about the game in Baltimore? They're doing the Macarena. They're doing all the dances because Baltimore's on top 5-3. When we come back, we'll give you that game, plus a look at Dallas Elliott, the best in the mill. Well, there's your halftime score, 5-3. We'll have that second half in just a moment. You've been watching Dallas Elliott. Quint's going to tell you why he's so great.
Dallas, how are you able to focus on the ball? I mean, the ball's moving 95, 100 miles an hour. How can you just maintain that concentration?
All I do is I try and tune everything else out and just look at the ball when it's in the other end and just concentrate on the ball for the full 60 minutes. I don't let anything distract me. And the tough thing about this game is with all the motion that takes place in front of the goal, sometimes you lose sight of the ball. And that's what makes the game challenging to me, is picking up the screenshots.
Your ability to make the big save is best in the league. I mean, one-on-one shot. What's going through your mind, guys, coming on a breakaway?
Well, certain shooters have certain tendencies, and sometimes you can maybe bait a shooter that particular spot, and he's going to take it. Other times, honestly, I just watch the ball and try and react to the ball. I don't play too many head games like I know some goaltenders will watch a player's eyes, and some goaltenders have a book on a lot of the shooters. I just watch the ball and try and react to the ball.
How has the game changed from when you first came in the league to now?
Oh, first off, the shooters are unbelievably accurate with their shots. They can pin a corner like you wouldn't believe. Maybe 7-8 years ago, guys were just flinging the ball at the net, and maybe a 75 or 80 save percentage average at that time was normal. Now, to get up in those numbers, you're doing quite well. And I mean, the shooters are just unbelievable. The speed of the game has really picked up. Just all around, it's improved 100%.
You seem to be always on that even keel emotionally, but there's got to be a lot going on in your head during a game.
That I think, as a goaltender, if you ask anybody, who's really the most important thing is maintaining that focus and not getting rattled. Sometimes you're in a game and you're at the player's mercy, and you're getting hit with shots time after time, one-on-one on top of the crease, and you can't curl up in the fetal position and give up. You got to stand there tall and strong and try and make every save. And if you give up 15 or 20, hey, you're doing your job out there.
Dallas Elliott, 4-time first-team All-Pro, perhaps the best goalie in the history of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League.
Well, we're set to go back inside the Baltimore arena. 5-3, Baltimore leads, and John Tucker, the coach, thinks he might win.
We worked our asses off all year long to get to this spot, all right? Tonight we show up. We put ourselves on the map.
You want to get the momentum right now from the get-go and then cruise from there.
Scott Gabrielson, the captain from Philadelphia, showing that his team has confidence, but they are behind by 2. Baltimore with a possession as we start the second half in quarter number 3. Now you know about Dallas Elliott. He's in the goal. He'll be getting some pressure early on, and he gets burned by Jeff Klotson. the leading scorer for Baltimore, makes it a 6-3 game. That's 3 straight goals for Baltimore. Pressure now as Jacobs gets the faceoff by default. There was an infraction there, a little bit of movement. Gary Gate gives it to Finneran. Now they're setting up in their power play. It's a 5-on-4 as we are still in the third quarter. This is a dangerous power play. Maybe it's dangerous. That's the Buffalo Bandits. They'll certainly tell you that I would hate to face a Gary Gate or a Marichek. They burned Derek Collins, and the fans are saying, hey, we've got time. We're okay. 4 goals for Philadelphia. It's a 6-4 game now. Still third quarter action. That power play goal brings them back to within striking distance. The Wings setting up. Gary Gate getting a lot of pressure, but it's Marichek with the loose ball. He wraps it around his shoulders. Marichek's first goal of the game. Martino can't believe it. And now there's a 6-5 game. Finneran getting special attention, but still with the ball. Looking back toward nobody there. Rocket from out front. Look at Collins making save after save. He has been sensational. The Freddy Krugers of the Baltimore Arena are right behind the Thunder. Baltimore still with a 1-goal lead. Look in front of Horns. Horns beats Dallas Elliott. It's a 2-goal game now for Baltimore. Tucker loves it, 7-5 the score. Now Philadelphia on the attack. Marichek working behind. Collins has looked so sharp. This is a very low-scoring game against an explosive Philly team. Baltimore playing tough defense. Marichek wraps around his shoulders. That'll be a 7-6 game as Marichek gets his second goal. They're doing the Macarena. I thought that dance was dead. Hey, we'll be back to the game in just a moment.
Bud Light sounds of the game.
I might need a righty. I might need a righty. We're okay. We're okay.
Yeah, I got a timeout.
Assistant number 33, Mark Millen.
Brian.
And number 12,
Brian.
Vinny Serrano.
It's a timeout. Let's listen up.
Hey, fans, look what the pros wear. Why settle for anything else? The guys on the field won't, so why should you? Now, from athletic mid.
We're going to swing our sticks. We're going to be in there all night long. We got the lead on it now. We're out of the box. Let's stop playing their game. All right? 5-on-5. You get a victory.
We worked our asses off all year long to get to this spot. All right? And tonight we show up. We put ourselves on the map. Which side's the ball? Our side or your ball?
The police officers and the students from the
Push it that way. Give me 1, 2, 3 on the opposite side righties. Kevin and Gary standing very close to each other, okay? As soon as the ball's brought in, Gary, I want you to have it in your stick. Kevin, as soon as the ball's brought in, I want you to cut it 1,000,000 miles an hour. Wave in your stick, Gary. As soon as he cuts it, you go to goal and stuff it in the back of the net. Right now, don't wait. That's the goal? Yes. And across. But wave your stick. 4 regular season, 2 playoff. And we're going. Hold up. All these people who didn't believe in us, all right? Exactly what you said. You know what I said, all right? And we go out and screw them all. We won for the city, we won for each other. Everybody else, you take a hike.
The Baltimore Arena is starting to rock, 7-6. They've got the 1-goal lead and confidence growing by leaps and bounds. We pick up the action now. 1-goal game. Baltimore's continue to put pressure on Dallas Elliott. Game minutes winding down. Backdoor shot. Horms makes it an 8-6 game. Can you believe it? The last place team against the first place team. Freddy Kruger's whole family's here. After Finneran scored, then Denikin scores. Those 2 goals make it 8-8 Philadelphia. They're in first place, and they're loaded with confidence. They've won very close games this year. There is the scoreboard showing you how tight it is. Still a low-scoring game as Klodson comes up. He goes for the corner. Klodson rockets that one past Elliott. He's got Rope and Tucker. Very calm and collected. He was a star in the Major League Lacrosse League, as well as on the field game in the United States. Marichek tries to get a closer shot. The defense pushes it out. Game's tied. Here comes Jeff Wills. Wills coming in. He hammers it near side. He beats Elliott. Goes into the crease after he scores. And a great goal for him, making it a 10-9 game. This could be the biggest upset of the year. The last place team against the Philadelphia Wings, who are in first. It's a power play. Things starting to get tight for Derek Collins, who's been sensational. They're working around Bates. All open in front is Gary Gate. Going down low to Finneran. Back to Gate. It's an easy shot for him, but a big save by Collins. He has been unbelievable. Collins taking away a lot of shots from the Philadelphia Wings, who have been all over him. Marichek finally finishes inside of Rob Scheck, and Collins gets beat to make it a 10-9 game. Woody Moore getting some tips from John Tucker, who has won the championship ring in the Major Indoor League. This is Billy Miller against Jeff Klodson. These guys are emotional leaders of their teams. Really stepping it up here in the fourth quarter. 10-9 now. Philadelphia still confident. Finneran getting a lot of attention. He's got 3 goals. And again, looking for the right-handed shot. He loves the right. McAvoy droops inside. Beats Derek Collins. McAvoy ties it at 10. The Philadelphia fans are feeling better. They don't look totally happy yet because this team has not been ahead for a long time, since it was 1-0. McAvoy. No, this is Maricek, and saved by Collins. Here comes Fulks. Kip Fulks comes down from Maryland, the All-American. He rips a right-handed shot. He almost didn't play the fourth quarter because his shoulder was injured. He goes coast to coast and rockets that one, hitting rope behind Dallas Elliott. It's an 11-10 game. About 34 seconds to go in the game. This would be the biggest upset of the year. Finneran can't get it past Collins, and that'll do it. That's the way it ends. 11-10. Collins, 51 saves. That is close to the all-time record of 63. Led by Ted Sawicki, our Bud Light MVP, Derek Collins. His team was sensational. He was unbelievable.
We've always said it's going to take a few games. Like, we got guys from everywhere, and, you know, a lot of guys haven't been playing up to their potential. And I think just the last couple of weeks, you know, everybody's just said to themselves, you know, let's just go out, relax, and play. You know, we're going to be all right. I think first couple of games, everybody was uptight, you know, trying to do too much. And now we've just settled down, and, you know, we think we can beat any team in the league any night.
We haven't shocked me. I think the world's a little bit stunned. We got a half a season left, and we got a couple of games against New York, another game against Rochester. After we win those, then we'll shock them. We're coming to the playoffs.
Baltimore wins 2 straight games by the same score, 11-10. Look how Philadelphia outshot them, 88-62. Yet Baltimore wins with great defense. 24 shots in the game by Gary Gate, but he doesn't win it for his team. First win against Philly since '87. Let's take a look at the Mills standings after week number 7. The big surprise here is that the New York Saints 3-3 looking for a playoff spot, but Baltimore plays for that position this week. Now let's take a look at our Brine Mill leaders. Brine, the official equipment supplier of Major Indoor League Lacrosse. Our point leaders, Johnny Tavares having a sensational year at 50 points total. The Gate brothers, identical twins, identical numbers at 48. Then Jacobs and Driscoll, the Rochester Nighthawks, make it 3 Nighthawks in the top 5. They are an explosive offensive team. And when you look at the goal scorers, you see Tavares again up front with 33. Then Paul Gate behind him from the Nighthawks with 30. Gary Gate and Tom Maricek, 2 wings at 3 and 4. Save percentage is led by Dallas Elliott. Then Collins, Lacasio, Dietrich, Cowie, and O'Neill. This week's MILL Laxattack show has been brought to you by Bud Light, with Brewery Fresh Taste, the official beer of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League. The games this week, 2 big ones. New York at Baltimore, 3-3 against 2-4. They're playing for a playoff spot. Then Rochester at 4-2 takes on the Boston Blazers. The first game, New York against Baltimore, playing for a playoff spot. Baltimore could go 3 wins in a row. Vinny Pfeiffer leads New York. This team is really going strong. A big win against Buffalo at home. They're looking to continue their playoff push, but if they're not careful, they could be caught in a thunderstorm. But their offenses look so strong. Jason Walder had a bundle of goals last week. He'll be tough to cover. This is the game Baltimore really shocked the world with. They beat the Philadelphia Wings. Derek Collins led the defense. He had 51 saves. That is incredible. They play so tough. A 2-game win streak. Both scores identical, 11-10. If you come down to that game, stay with the Stars of the Mill Stay, the Sheraton Inner Harbor Hotel in Baltimore. The other big game, Rochester Nighthawks 4-2 at the Boston Blazers, 2-5, a must-win for Boston, and Rochester really faces a situation where they have to win too. This is Boston taking a lot of shots against Philadelphia. Boston has been a little inconsistent this year. O'Neal's numbers a little bit down from his career high. Rochester, the great offense that scares so many teams, they also have been playing a little bit inconsistently. Paul Gate will have to bring his team up a level to ensure a playoff. There are your two games. The New York Saints at Baltimore. That is at 8 o'clock in the Baltimore Arena on Saturday. The Nighthawks at Boston at 8:30.
Whew, big game. Leif Elsmo, Sal Acasio were here in the New York Saints locker room. Tremendous win for this franchise as they beat the defending North American Cup champion Buffalo Bandits by 2 goals. Now that is really a great way to go into the last 4 games of the season. This team's thinking playoffs, and that'll do it for Laxattack for this week. We'll be back next week for more of the great action of the Major Indoor Lacrosse League.